one night, and Annabelle was going to see the Vagina Monologues in Chungwon the next day, and she said, I really want to put the production on in Busan, and then we realized that you had to do it by May 1st, and that sort of, clicked in, and we're like, we have 2 weeks. We have 2 weeks. We need to do this right away. And it was amazing, actually, how quickly this came together, and it couldn't have gone better tonight. It was amazing.
How did I get involved? Jay, one of the directors, posted something on Facebook, and as soon as I saw Vagina Monologues, I was drawn to it because I'd been in it 2 times before, and anything to do with it, I'm a huge supporter. I will give my left arm to be in it. So I posted to her, I said, if there's any job, I don't care if it's just whatever, getting water for the people in it, I will do it. And it turns out there was a piece that needed to be done, and I was more than happy to do anything for it.
For me, I've done a lot of theater, and I've always wanted to do Vagina Monologues, but never had the chance. And usually with theater, the thing I love about it is getting into a role where I'm outside of myself and where I'm doing something that's different and getting into somebody else's character. But for the Vagina Monologues, I feel like it's very much you're getting into yourself, you're getting into your own character, and you're much more vulnerable on stage when you're showing yourself. Usually I don't get nervous at all for shows, and for this it was much more nerve-wracking because you're putting yourself out there and how you feel about your vagina and, or your cunt, and that's really terrifying when you're a woman, and the reason for this show is that that's just hard in itself in this world. So to be on stage and saying, okay, this is what I think about my vagina, is anyone going to clap for this? Is anyone going to feel what I'm saying? There's a lot more pressure and a lot more tension riding on it.
I kind of had the opposite experience, actually. Like, for me, it's like my piece is not how I feel about my vagina at all, but like it called to me. I don't know why. It just called to me. There's a shame in the piece and a vulnerability, and you're not just this old woman, you're this adolescent too. And so there is a piece of me, but like I feel like instead of being me, like I'm outside of myself, and there's this energy that exists in this show that I can just let it flow through me, and just it's there. I feel like it's a magical show, honestly. Like, it's improbable that we put this together in like, what, less than a month? Maybe 3 weeks. But there's this magic that just clicks in for me. Like, I'm a little new agey like that, I guess. I don't know. I felt a presence of something larger.
Yeah, there's a couple of us who were in the Comedy Night Live a couple of months ago, and this is so much more different because some people don't quite have the idea of what the Vagina Monologues is all about, and a couple of my friends were like, oh, I'm so looking forward to coming to the show and hearing more about your vagina. I'm like, I'm not reading about my vagina, Jesus Christ. But no, I think it's so, like, you have to be so vulnerable, and doing a monologue is so much more different from, like, feeding off somebody else on stage and kind of, like, having a cue, and you forget your lines, and there's nobody else to kind of, like, help you along, and luckily we had Laurie tonight who was, like, sitting on the edge of the stage with a script ready for one of us to fuck up, you know what I mean? It was just like, thank God we didn't. I'm sorry, can I swear on this? Okay. But yeah, it was really good, and we just said cunt. Okay, let's say it again. But yeah, no, I think the whole thing for a lot of us, I know, it's been like meeting a group of women who are so confident with themselves and so ready to do this thing and kind of like get everything out there. And I will be honest, like, we did an interview in our rehearsals, and it went out on Korea Bridge, and there was some people who had some really negative things to say about it, and I didn't realize how passionate I felt about this. I know that there was some stuff that was taken off Korea Bridge, but I know that there were some people who were uncomfortable with us using the word vagina, who thought that we were in some way kind of perverted or sick for using the word, and it just didn't occur to me how taboo it really was until like that kind of thing came up. The funniest thing that happened to me, I told my co-workers, I was like, okay, I felt really uncomfortable. It's like, am I going to invite them or am I not going to invite them? And then I said to them, have you heard of the Vagina Monologues? And one of my co-workers, Mika, I love you, but she turned around and said, is that when it itches? No, it's a play. And yeah, I'll hand over the microphone to anybody else who wants to chip in, but I think a lot of Korean women don't really understand, I've never heard of the Vagina Monologues the same we have. I mean, it's my favorite play. I have it tattooed on me. I'm just fucking in love with the play. I said a really bad cuss word again. I need to stop drinking and hand the microphone over, but it's an amazing play, and I feel that we did something good tonight. We really did.
Actually, I hadn't been sure whether or not to bring it up at my work, especially since I was going to be shouting cunt on stage, and I wasn't sure how they felt about vaginas, and especially how they'd feel about me shouting about vaginas. But I told them, and actually the person who responded best is one of the Korean guys at my work, and he was really excited about coming. And actually, I don't think any of the Koreans came, but all of them sounded excited about coming, which surprised me enough. And just the fact that I brought up the word at work, and they didn't shy away, and one of them was like, you know, I've got problems with my vagina. I'd like to see that show. And I was like, what? Awesome. Let's go drink tea and talk about vaginas sometime. So it opened up a door for them. So even though I don't think that they came tonight, now I feel a lot more comfortable with my coworkers just having brought it up there. It was good.
I'm gonna hog this again for a second. Can I just say that I've seen this show 3 times, and this has been the audience with the most amount of guys in it. I was so impressed. Good on you guys. You know what I mean? Go penises. I was really surprised at the amount of guys who were there and enjoying it and involved. Yeah, vagina allies. I like that.
And what was funny, we could tell that there was many guys in the audience because they laughed at different things in the show. And we were like, because we all know we've done it and we all laugh at certain things. Being women, we relate to certain things. Oh, I can't even think. But especially during the moans, I think a lot of guys, well, everyone laughs at the moans. I can't think. Does anyone think of an example?
Saying that about, what was it?
Does anybody have one?
I think Lindsay's, we were surprised that they were laughing.
Yeah, at Lindsay's when she...
And he turned into an angry beast, and it was all men that laughed.
Yeah. Wait, so...
I understood the transition.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I know that feeling.
Apparently, yeah.
Giant baby. I was cracking up. No one else.
Yeah. Yeah. No guys. Yeah. Yeah. Guys definitely do not think releasing babies are funny.
Yeah.
Girls do.
They don't get it.
Guys definitely think being an hungry wolf, good thing, hilarious. Being a connoisseur, they awful, yeah. It's foreplay, yeah. The guys just definitely added a lot of laughs in different spots. So it was great to hear that diversity in different parts of it. So yeah, go guys, go penises. Go for it.
The only thing I wanted to say really was just about discussions on Career Bridge, which I haven't read because the only reason I didn't read them is just in case it gave me a downer for tonight. I didn't want to feel badly about going on stage if I read some negative comments. But the word vagina, it's a body part. It's like, arm, leg, fingernail, vagina. It's a female body part. It's not a rude word. It's something that all women have. It's nothing. There's nothing shameful, and there's nothing pornographic about saying the word vagina. It's the technical term for the female reproductive organ. So if middle school students are seeing the word vagina, well, that's an extra piece of vocabulary. It's not offensive. I understand some people don't like the word cunt and that maybe they would be offended by that. I could understand that, but being offended by the word vagina, I don't understand that. And I also don't understand why that's wrong for children to hear the word vagina in their own language or in any other language. I don't think it's something that's offensive or something that's wrong.